Hi, welcome to Fred Meyer's in Salem, Oregon. We are on our way to Portland on tour. Look at this tour merch. Don't you want some today? We're going to answer questions about Pilates exercises to avoid if you have neck issues. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for your amazing questions. Thank you so much for joining me live on Sundays at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It really means the world to me. We're the goal is to go live with you next Sunday somewhere in Glacier after having been in Canada. So if you are watching this live with us, you can actually join the tour still at opc.me/tour. Today we're in Portland. Then tomorrow, not tomorrow's the day off. Tuesday we're in Seattle. That is sold out. Vancouver is Wednesday. That is sold out. There is room on Thursday in Kamloops, Canada. Friday we have a day off, and Saturday is Calgary. And you can get virtual tickets for Calgary. So if you are having FOMO, then you can actually go to opc.me/Calgary and you can get one of the few spots to the virtual workshops. We have two workshops. One is on connecting to the fast and my hip clickers. That one's for you. And one of them is on creating springboard tower Cadillac workouts. There isn't an order from Joe. And if you constantly find yourself doing like the same kinds of things, like what should you be considering when putting a class together? Don't mind the camera moving. Brad is here and he is making sure we look amazing and great. So opc.me/Calgary where you can get the virtual tickets to the tour. It's our first time doing this and we'll see how it goes. We're really, really excited about it. There's no recording, so you join us live because then you get your questions answered live. Okay, so let's talk about those neck issues and Pilates exercises to avoid. So I think it's important to actually talk about, like, is this a chronic or an acute? Meaning, like, did you just recently, like something happened to your neck recently? You probably are in a bit of pain, and you may want to consider not doing a class session specifically if you have that. You also may want to actually talk with your doctor to make sure you have clearance to work out. If you have clearance to work out, but it's like something recent, I would absolutely consider making sure you're doing one-on-one sessions to understand what your modifications are. I know that makes Pilates a little bit inaccessible, maybe for time or uh, cost, but the reality is that when you're in a class, classes are often created for the average person in the class, and then modifications are given as they can, right? And so it's important that you understand what your modifications are so that if the teacher that you're taking a class from doesn't know or doesn't give you one, you're not aggravating the issue that you have, right? We would definitely don't want that. If this is a chronic neck thing, first of all, again, hopefully the studio you're at did a private session with you to give you some modifications for you. If you're doing Pilates on your own, you're doing YouTube with me or something like that, things to consider. Overhead exercises are probably going to be a never. And I hate to say that, but the truth is that you don't want to accidentally go too far, right? Like overhead exercises, typically you should be staying on your shoulder girdle. You should have really great strength in your upper back and be in that stability, that thoracic stability. But it's really easy to go beyond that thoracic stability and into the neck. And so I would just say avoid all overhead exercises with neck stuff. And that also, by the way, just goes with shoulder stuff as well. If you've got shoulder stuff, you're probably not going to want to do things that are overhead exercises. Can you roll like a ball? I have found with people with chronic neck issues that they can actually roll like a ball as long as they are doing it correctly. Open leg rocker, seal, boomerang, all those boomerang, no, but like you can actually like do the start position of boomerang, right in the arms back. Often can do those rolling exercises. However, you have to do it from your center and not from your right. In fact, this is a really amazing thing to just chat about. It's really easy to be frustrated by injuries that we but the reality is that they often just make us be more precise. Like it's really easy if you don't. This is Brad, by the way. It's really easy if you don't often have an injury and then you have one to get really frustrated by the injury or the ache or the pain. But what they really do is just force us to be a bit more accurate in how we move, right? I'm a hypermobile body, so it's really easy for me to cheat. When I fractured my tibial plateau, I had to learn how to do things correctly. I have had a tight thoracic spine from when I do a tour. What that means is I have to do things correctly. I cannot cheat by using my head to roll back. I have to use it for my center. And so I just want to say, if you are working with a neck issue or a shoulder issue, don't have to get mad at your body, because your body got you here. Your body is doing a lot of hard things for you. And just understand that, like, it's giving you this opportunity to actually move from the right places. It means we have to be a little bit more exploratory. So next exercises to avoid, we talked about the overhead exercises. Now, what I would also say is, like, anything where the arms go overhead could probably aggravate the neck. So this kind of stuff, because it's really easy to work with these muscles up here and strain what's going on in your neck. Um, Flexion exercises, especially if your center isn't strong, you don't have to avoid them unless the doctor has told you to do so. But what you'll want to consider is actually propping your head and chest up. So using a spine corrector or a bolster of some kind, that could be helpful. Some people actually just need to put something behind their head and then keep their head down. If you're keeping your head down during exercise where it's supposed to be up, that means that the limbs, your legs, cannot go as low. It's going to put strain on the neck. So I'll just say, for the 100, if curling up for the 100 is not an option for you right now, you're going to want to have those legs down, either straight on the mat or bent, versus off of the ground, because even straight up to the sky can be a little bit hard on what's going on until you're strong enough, right? So you have to really make sure you're moving from your center. The ab series, if you have your head resting on something because you can't curl up yet, you're going to make sure that those legs aren't going too low, because it could strain, again, the neck, or it could strain the back instead. So just being mindful and listening to your body. Like, can I do flexion? If I can't do flexion, if I'm assisted, can I be assisted in the curled up position? If not, and my head is down, then the legs can't go as low. All right. Extension exercises are often okay for some neck issues, but you have to make sure that you're not overusing your neck. A lot of people use their neck to extend and not their upper back to extend. So again, just being mindful of, like, are you moving from your center? And again, I'll say it again, injuries force us to be more precise. And so be kind to your body, try not to be frustrated about it, more precise. Arms step out to the side, like thaw, right? That can aggravate the neck if you're doing it if your arms aren't being held up from your center. So I might suggest putting your hands right here and doing your saw. I also might suggest for spine twist, your arms go here, right? So just being really mindful of, like, if there's an arm position that bothers your neck, then exercises with that arm position are going to be things we have to take the arms out of it, so that you can still do the spine shape, but maybe not aggravate the neck with the arms. Um, I would definitely consider, like, are you wanting to do, like, do you want to actually do reformer exercises? If so, you'll want to make sure that you're using handles as opposed to loops, because again, we want to make sure in that arm back connection. I probably wouldn't do a lot of the rowing exercises unless, again, it was a more regular, like, you've had this issue for a long time and you know how to work with it, you know how to listen to your body, and you know what feels good. Because arms circling all the way around is going to be could aggravate the neck, right? Pulling straps, it might not be possible for you to do it lying down, because on your stomach, the weight of the head being pulled down might not be a good thing for you. So you may want to do pulling strap seated on top of the box, or you might want to do it over on an armchair instead. So it's really going to be dependent on the person and what the neck issue is.